Hello and welcome to the Stover Farm Channel. I'm so glad you're here with us for a speed build on a farm, but this is special. Don't click off. I know it looks like Elm Creek because, well, it is Elm Creek, but this could actually be one of the hardest builds that I've done because I'm only using 6 mods. That's right, 6 mods, all platform. I'll tell you, I can't tell you how many comments that I read saying, oh, console, we can't get those mods. That's PC only. Or, oh, I've got this PC, but it hardly runs the game. I can't have a ton of mods. I can't have these huge maps. What do I do? As a community, I hope to show here that you can take the base game, very few mods, and you can still build something really, really cool. So we're going to take this and turn it into this. And we're going to do that in 60 minutes with only 6 mods. And I'll throw them up on the screen so you can see what they are. The majority of them, Easy Dev, is just for my convenience. We can almost throw that out because I'm only using that so that I can get this completed in 60 minutes. But you could do virtually everything that I'm going to do in here with just basic game function. Or another mod that is all platform. Paint Teraform anyway, or anywhere, yeah, that's also kind of a convenience, and so store deliveries. Because again, I want to be able to buy something and it goes right here to the farm instead of having to run all the way. It's, I guess not that far, but it's just up the road to the dealership. So, like, right off the bat, 3 of these mods are convenience mods, and 3 of them are actual mods to use. The American Barn Pack, the Lizard Subsoiler, because I love this little plow. It can help you make fields very easily. And then, last but not least, the Red Barn Pack, because I think the Red Barn Pack has some really nice options for everything, from barns to animal husbandries, and it's all platforms. So, are you ready for this? This could be, again, one of the most challenging builds, because I've limited myself. I don't even know if this is possible. Even though I showed you the video of what we're turning it into. But I don't know what that actually looks like right now because I have to kind of sprinkle that in after we're done as an edit. All right, you ready? 60 minutes on the clock. Let me pull it up. Just a moment. Get the stopwatch out. And we are going to begin. First thing we need to do, I better give myself some more money. So I'm going to use EasyDev for this. Again, this is just a convenience application. Let's give us just $2 million. If you wanted to get a ton of money yourself, without EasyDev, you'd just use some of the government subsidies. You'd plant a ton of them all around the map. You'd sleep a couple nights, and you would then have a ton of money. Doesn't matter if you're on PC or console, you can get a ton of money. There's tons of mods and sheets and videos on how to do that. Second thing we have to do, we have to actually buy the map we're going to be working on. So I better go into farmland, and I better buy up this. So I think I want that. I'll say yes, and I want these fields back here. Now, I always like to make a preference, or I guess a pre-statement, and say I have not done this already. I'm literally doing this live to tape. I didn't build this once, delete it, and then come back in and redo it, so I could run into problems. The computer could crash, although I don't think it will, knock on wood, because we're dealing with the base map. That's another really nice thing about starting in Elm Creek, if you're new to the game, starting with a smaller number of mods. You don't have that tax on your system, and you also don't need a huge system to run the game in this particular instance. So give it a shot. It's actually a great map. It runs very efficiently. Okay, back to the build, because I'm already 2 minutes in, and again, we only give ourselves 60 minutes for this. I'm going to get rid of the buildings that I don't want. I don't want that. I don't want this. I don't want that little thing right there. It's like a bridge. There's another bridge over here. Yeah, we're going to sell that. Get rid of that. I'm going to keep this for the time being because I don't know. I don't think I have any other mods. Again, I've got just the base game mods and then those 6 if you include the convenient mods that I'm using. Okay, what are we going to do first? Okay, I want to create isolation. So the one thing you can do to create a totally unique map in FarmSim is change the elevation, change the trees, change the amount of foliage you've got on the ground. Right here, this is boring, okay? It's a two-lane highway. This is cool over here. There's just a curb, and then it just right into the field. There's no changes in elevation. Let's create some of that. So let's focus on the fields and the elevation first. Then let's move into buildings, and then let's move into actually equipping the farm with maybe some equipment. We'll see if we have time. Plenty of money. We're going to go into landscaping, into the sculpting tool. I'm going to make this slightly bigger. And I'm just going to come down here, and you can, again, you could be doing this on console with a controller. And I'm just going to slowly... I did not do that very well right there. I'm going to slowly make a... I almost feel like I have... Oh, I did. I had my... Oh my gosh, I had the strength way too high, so it was creating these, like, massive ditches. I was like, how would we fix that? Well, a couple ways you can do that. You can come into the leveling tool, and we'll actually turn around, and the leveling tool is going to allow you to choose an area that you want to level, and create basically the same level where you start the process, and then I'm going to drag it into all these little areas that I messed up. So I don't want my ditch to be like... I don't want it to be perfect, but I don't think it needs to have these massive spikes on it. I'm going to bring that to about right here. And you can make your ditches however you'd like. Okay, we're not going to worry about fields right now. I don't care about fields. We're actually going to probably just paint over these. So going into following the process that I typically do, I'm going to grab grass, paint grass over this. And I don't even want those walkways where the pedestrians walk. So I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to keep Elm Creek, though. I want the creek to be there because it's going to be, I think, part of my field. Okay, let's get rid of this one as well. And we can always... well, no, I can't because, again, I'm trying to do this without Easy Dev. So we're going to have to, if we want to put fields back in here, so I do have to be cautious, I'm going to have to use that lizard subsoiler, that plow that I bought to actually put fields back in. But that is totally fine. No worries. Okay, so I've done that. I think I want to bring up just a little bit. This is similar to how I started that horse farm over on Field 59, the old ambiguous Field 59. Just bring this up a little bit. Okay. And I think I'm going to put the house right in here. Let's go in and let's paint our meadow grass. Again, doing this because this saves time. This makes it more efficient. We put all the grass down that we want, and then we're not having to go in after the build and, you know, with a very tiny brush, try and go around objects. Okay, and we don't really care about that entry right there, so I should probably just paint it over. And one thing I am using is the Paint and Terraform Anywhere, and I believe that is a script mod. But you can still get around it as a console player. You can still paint most of these areas. It might be a little tricky to get some of these like right up by the road, because unfortunately in this map you're not able to own this little outside edge of the map, so it might get a little angry with us. This is Elm Creek right here. I think it will be okay though. Probably wouldn't even matter, but the way I'm using Paint and Terraform anyway, that's helping us right now. You'd be able to get around it. Gotta focus, gotta focus. We only have so much time, or so little time, so much to do. Again, the goal of this is to show that you can take literally the base map, the base farm that you get when you start this game. You can be fresh out of the box to Farm Sim, and you can actually make a really cool farm with very few mods. So I've just got the 6 mods that I added, plus all the base game mods. And we're going to make something, I think, really unique and really cool. Okay, so that's there. We need to put a house down. So I did choose a nice farmhouse here. So out of the red barn pack, we could put this. I actually kind of like that. I was going to go with the ranch house because it is all platform and it's extremely detailed. But the red... Oh, see... This is what happens when you don't pre-build these things. I've got to make a decision. What do you think? I'm going to go with... This is more authentic. This is far more authentic. So I'm going to put this like right here. Just like that. And you went, oh my gosh, what did it do to the land? Well, yeah, it definitely did some landscaping for us. That's totally fine, though. We're going to come back into our sculpting, and we're just going to soften this up. And you can change the strength of this if you'd like. Both console and Mac or PC. I'm using the L key to increase the strength. I'm using the M key to increase and the N key to decrease the size of my paintbrush. You can also choose V, and that will switch back and forth between a square or a circle. I still haven't quite figured out the differences. It does paint a little differently as a square than it does as a circle. Well, maybe I'm not smart enough to understand it, but there we go. Okay, focus, Stover, focus. Go into painting. I'm going to take, and I like to then, in this upper area, because again, we're trying to create separation between the farm and the town around it. So we're going to put some trees in here, and I think this is going to make you feel like you're in a completely different location. Very similar to what we did with the farm build. We just happen to be in a different part of the map right across from the gas station and the diner. Trees. Elm trees. Not the biggest, but not the smallest. And I want to come in here, and I just don't want to like bam, 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 right in a row. Because that then... it looks a little, like, fake. Rotate. Don't put them in a straight line. Rotate them a little bit. Put them off just a little. Just a touch. There we go. Put your biggest trees down first. Then come in with some smaller trees. And these don't have to follow in any real pattern. But we do want them to be here, again, to try and fill out this area. That. And maybe even smaller. There we go. Just a few of these here. And now I'm going to get into like some brush. So I'm going to come down to here and we'll just start kind of sprinkling, peppering these in. And all this is doing is it's just blocking the view of, again, the gas station, the road for the farm, trying to make it like it is really isolated. Okay, plants. Now, come in here, grab some of these bushes and just sprinkle these bushes in here. Because, you know, tree land is not going to be grass underneath it, so we'll just sprinkle this in here. Just move around sporadically. It doesn't matter. None of this has to be perfect. Remember that. Your map does not have to be perfect. You do not have to have perfect lines. You do not have to have, you know, perfect angles. Farms are not perfect. I was in Ottumwa, Iowa, and there is weeds and brush all over the place, growing everywhere. You cut them down one week, they're right back the next. Okay, I like this. So what does this look like from over here? We can still see kind of the gas station. That's okay. Let's come in and let's get some more trees. And just, again, sprinkle some more trees in here. There is a limit to the number of trees you can put on a map. But trust me, you're not going to hit it in the base map doing this amount of trees. There are scripts out there that allow you to have more trees on a map, but you need those when you're in like the 4X maps, UMRV, or Green Valley. Yes, because there's literally thousands upon thousands of trees. Not for this. You'll be fine. Put as many trees down as you want. They're just expensive. Okay. Let's keep going. Again, I want that isolation. No, no more elms. None of those. Maybe some of these bushes, these little tiny bushes. And what I might do, just to give you a little bit more pretty visuals, I might come in here. It's 9 a.m. You would not be able to do this in console with EasyDev. But let's just come in here and let's set the month to October. And let's go maybe a little earlier in the morning. Yes. There we go. That's nicer. Feels a lot better. Okay, so we've got now a nice line of trees there. We took this out. How do we fix this? Well, pretty simple. We're just going to cover over this. So I'm going to go into landscaping. I'm going to use the flattening tool. I'm not going to go with a really heavy level. Just softly come in here. It's going to cover up. At least it should. That little question mark, you won't see it. It will go under the map. There we go. This is going to be a field anyways. And I'm going to come over to the softening tool and just soften this up. And I got to check our time. How's our time looking? Where are we at on time? Keep me honest, folks. We're at 15 minutes. Can we do this? Again, only 60 minutes. Whoops, dropped my phone. Okay. We're not going to do anything over here. I don't really want... I'm going to get rid of some of this. Can I delete that? Yes. That can go away. Can I delete that? No. It wants me to have the fire pit. That's okay. But I don't want these pathways around here. So landscaping, painting, here, come into this. Now, what you're going to see, though, is the meadow grass that I lay down here. It's going to be taller than the grass that's currently here, so it's going to be slightly off. That might bug you. Doesn't really bother me. You can just kind of sprinkle it in here and there. Maybe the grass is a little splotchy. But the grass that's currently there is different from the grass I'm dropping down. And that's really okay. I just don't want that at the entryway to my farm. Okay, there we go. Now, we're going to do one thing here that you cannot do on console as quickly as I'm going to do here. I'm going to come into Easy Dev. I'm going to turn on my delete objects. I want to delete some of these trees. You can still delete trees, though, so don't think that what I'm doing here is cheating. I'm just doing this for speed and efficiency. There are tools that allow you to delete trees. Lumberjack mod, Tree Be Gone, they're all platform. You can also just cut trees down if you want, the old-fashioned way. And I believe with Tree Be Gone, or maybe even Lumberjack, you can very quickly get rid of the stumps. That's the one problem with cutting trees down, is you end up leaving stumps, and then it can be really difficult to actually place anything on the map and or smooth the terrain, because you've got the stump there and it causes problems. So I want to get rid of all of these trees in here, but I don't necessarily want to get rid of the foliage or the brush, because I'm going to have that kind of run, the creek run through my field, I think. Just not get rid of all of these trees, just a few. Just like that. Okay, there we go. And then I want to... there's the... Well, we're going as fast as the train is. Because I only own basically this line over. I want to add some separation here. So I'm not going to have this pathway. So I'm going to go into landscaping, we're going to go into painting, and I'm going to put a row of trees in here as well. Because, again, I want that separation. I don't have ownership of this field over here that's owned by someone else. So I want to create some natural feeling of, like, we own maybe 2 fields. This is a small farm. This is not a big farm by any means. So we'll put meadow grass down. I haven't actually played on this map in a long time, so it's actually kind of fun to come back here. You know, we started on it when we launched the game, like 2 years ago. And then all these other maps have come out, and they're great. I love it, but you almost forget that this map exists, and it's a really good map. Again, for all those reasons that I talked about early on. Because it plays well. Okay. Let's put some trees in here. It's going to play painting. Painting, here we go. And I'm just going to, again, sprinkle in a little bit of forest ground. And now I'm going to grab some trees, and I'm going to... You know what I'm going to do first, actually? I'm going to come into my plants, and I'm going to put down just a few, might be more than a few that I put down. I want a little bit, I don't want everything to look the same. I want some changes in size, and there we go. I got that. So they're not all the same. Now I'm going to come in with my trees. And maybe a row of hickories that just, like, run through here. And again, you can rotate them, or you just kind of move naturally back and forth. I don't prefer putting them all in one line. It feels unnatural to me. And then let's do some, maybe not a dogwood, but a smaller elm. And maybe there's like one really large elm in here as well, or 2. Right there. Yeah. Kind of like that. Looks a little off. Maybe I come in here with, like, another slightly larger elm. There we go. Feels a little more natural. Now, we need to create a fence line. So let's do like a broken down fence line. This is our property. We're going to have to be a little careful here because we are running this through the trees. So I've got to find, I'm just moving back and forth here, trying to find a path that allows me to work around the tree. And then you would kind of have this, like this wouldn't be perfectly straight. How many fields have you seen where like the fence line is running through the trees and it's all broken? Although that's not letting me do anything right there. Come on. Okay, I'll just go around it. There we go. So it's a little broken down. There we go. Like this. I don't think I'm going to put anything out front. Maybe just curl this around and call that done. I'm going to leave this set of trees in here, and I'm going to leave these trees back here. There's our fence line. I might run this over here to create, again, just a boundary to know where our property ends and begins. It's about right there. Whoops, that was console. That I do have open. That is a command you can put in the game XML. And when you're on a PC or a Mac, you can actually open up the command console and begin typing commands in here. You would not have that on console. I know it's called console, but it is not available in console. You could basically control every function of the game that way if you wanted to. Okay, now I think we need to put, so we've taken care of the isolation over there. That doesn't look right to me. I need more. Don't get too obsessed on this, Stover. Let's put some more trees in though, because it doesn't feel right. And we're overlapping trees here. I know this might not be what is out in nature. Well, I guess it is, but I want to... You know why? You know why that doesn't look right? Is because this tree right here. This one big elm. We're just going to get rid of that. We're just going to have that one set of really tall elms down there. And that gives us, again, some nice separation from those fields over there that we don't own. We're only going to have 2 fields on this particular farm. Now we've got to actually create those fields. So how are we going to do that? How are we going to determine where those fields are going? Let's move into that. So we've kind of got the base area of the farm down. I'm now going to, I guess, finish adding my grass in here because this is where I need to put a driveway in. And I need to also put a shop in. So into painting, and I got to be cognizant of the time. I don't know how we're doing, but we only have 60 minutes to do this. Let's go into plants, and we'll put our meadow grass down. You know, it's funny, I guess not funny, but interesting how games in general, especially sim-type games that allow you to free build on maps, I find them extremely relaxing. I find a lot of joy in just coming in here and building something. It's like a type of stress relief for me. You can let your creative juices flow. I just find it very, very enjoyable. And I hope you do as well. Okay, we need to put a driveway in. And I need to finish probably the grass around the buildings. This is what I was talking about. And I don't want to have to come in and do a lot of this where we're using a very small paintbrush and having to go around these areas. So that's why I put the grass down to begin with. So now we're done with that. And we're not done with it because we would likely come in here and add some forest ground. I like to add a little bit of landscaping to the house if we've got some time. Like that. And then, what do we have fence-wise? Again, because I've only got 6 mods installed. Yeah, it's a gate. Yeah, okay, I've still got this, so we could make something out of this. Maybe that, and there's a doorway right there. So let's maybe circle into that doorway. And then circle out of this doorway. Come back to there like that. And then on this side, do something very similar just out front here. And take that out here. So we've got the trash cans. We don't want to... Here we go. And then we'll go into painting. We'll paint a little bit more of our forest grass in here. You could put dirt in here as well. It doesn't really matter. I like forest grass because it has different shades of color to it. It helps a little bit, I think. And plants. So let's now put some plants in here. I'm going to go to the circular one, very small, and just start sprinkling in some plants around the house to provide some type of landscaping. And then maybe coming into our trees, a very small like tree right there. Spin around. Sorry, we're flying through those trees. There. Here. And maybe not another one, but we'll put one of these small pagoda dogwoods right there. And then we're gonna come around to, let's see here, painting. Let's grab some. It's the other hard part. I've only got so many paint swatches, so we have just basic gravel here. Now I'm gonna move a gravel path around this house, and I'm gonna bring it around to the front. Do I have any type of... Okay, let's see if we've got in buildings. Are there any carports? I don't think there are in base game. Shoot. I don't have anything that I can park my car in, do I? What tools? Red Barn Pack has that, but that's way too big for the area we're working in. I think the cars are just going to have to park outside, folks. So back into decorating, landscaping, painting. I'm going to bring this out to a driveway. This would potentially just be where we would park, right out here. This. Oh, you know what might be kind of nice? I have an idea. Hold on. What if we do this? Let's make a circle here. Okay. This is the fun of doing this live. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Alright, so there's that. And then off of here, this is going to come down and be our driveway. Yes. And this is going to connect right there. I'm not going to make this too wide. I got into a problem. Not a problem. Again, it's up to you. If you like it, you do it. If you don't like it, don't do it. I was making driveways too wide. They just felt too wide. So I'm going to try and not make these too wide. I'm going to bring this down here. If you ever really want to know what you're doing straight, change your angle. So come down here and you can see we're not perfectly straight. And that's okay. But change your angle and paint like this. This makes it very easy, if you want to make a straight line, to see where your driveway is coming from and going. And that is a lot better than what I had before. So again, I kind of increased my angle of attack or view, and now we can see a lot better. Okay, up here, let's put in... Let's do this. Let's go back into decorations. Let's check the time. Check the time. We're at 33 minutes. Oh my gosh, this is hard. Okay, decorations, into fencing. Let's grab that same type of fence, and we'll do just a nice circle here. And we'll put maybe a tree in the centering. And that's going to be probably all we do for the house. Maybe we'll leave that open, so you want to walk in here and sit under the tree, you're welcome to. Landscaping to trees, and we could put a super big... Now, let's do something like... What was that one map called? Lone Oak? Put like a lone oak in there. Maybe smaller. Yeah. There we go. And then if you want to walk in and sit under the tree, you certainly can. Walk right in here. Sit under this tree. There we go. Okay. We got to build some fields, and we still have to make our shop area. And I think for that, I need to... So, I'm going to combine. Again, we're only going to have, like, 2 fields. And I'm going to have this creek running through it. Now, this is pretty tall vegetation here, so I don't want it that tall. I want to actually make it a little smaller. I think I want to have it there, but I don't want it as big as it is. So I'll come into our meadow grass. I'm just going to paint some meadow grass here. I want to have the elevation change down to the creek. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. You didn't see me do that. But I don't want those huge bushes there. We are going to trim those up. There we go. Now, we got to make a field. But we need to determine also where we want to have our building. So we need to find what building we want to use first. We've got a couple of options. We can use the American Barns pack. And this is actually maybe a nice option. It's small. It would work well on a farm like this. And we can change the color, so I can go to a red so that it looks similar. And we could put that like... You know what, I'm going to do that. I'm going to put that right here. I'll pull it out. It collides with me, so I got to walk out of the way. Come back into here. I want this, but I want it in the right color. And I'm going to put that right there. Okay. Now, we need to build our fields. So I'm going to come into landscaping. I'm going to paint up some of this. I want to make sure that we're flat as well, that I didn't put this down and it caused any issues with... Caused a few there, like that's raised just a little bit, but we can fix that in a moment. I'm going to put gravel on the outskirts. Probably do that. Now here's something you can do as well, because again, gravel's not going to be like 100% clean. There's going to be like grass growing. There's going to be some dirt in it. Now we don't have a ton of options for this in the base map with what is available, but we've got a few things that we can come in here and put down. So we can still paint some grass up to that. We can come over here. We can throw a little bit of just grass, sprinkle that in there. Same way over here, sprinkle that in. Then grab your meadow grass and put that in. This is what I was talking about earlier, where you don't... stuff doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, I think it's better, it's more realistic when it's not perfect. But, again, if you want it perfect, do it perfect. That's fine. Now let's see. Do we have any dirt? Yeah, we've got a little bit of dirt. So maybe we'll just sprinkle some dirt in here as well. And, okay, let's put down in buildings 2 containers. We need some gasoline and diesel, so maybe a small petrol tank. Go right in here. Perfect. And maybe this is also the area where we want to do our cleanup. So we'll throw a pressure washer there. I like that. Okay, now here's what we got to do to make fields, because we're not going to use easy dev. I'm going to make this so that my store deliveries are right here. Can I do that? Did store deliveries not activate? What is going on? Oh no. Alright, we're going to buy what I need. I'm going to have to run down to the store and get it. I want an 8R. I want it to be pretty beefy. I don't want it to be there. Yep. Okay, buy that. Yes. And then I'm going to come in and I want a plow. And this particular plow allows you, where are plows? There they are. To actually create fields. So with that, buy. Yes. Now, since I have no other vehicles on the map, yep, that took me right to the dealership. We're at 40 minutes. I think we can do this. We're going to have a pretty cool little 2-field farm here very shortly. Back up. I did not install the real speed limit, so I'm going to be limited to what this little guy can do. Forgot I don't have manual attach on either. Let's drive as quickly as we can down. 32 miles an hour in the 8R with the IVT system. This is a 400 horse motor or 370 horse model. I don't know, it's base game. You could sing a song, but you do not want to hear me sing. My wife would not be happy with me. I am a terrible, terrible singer. So we're just... I'm looking at the clock as it counts down. 41 minutes and 13 seconds. Come on. So there's the farm on the left, you can see. You know what it looked like before. That's what it looks like now. Nice separation between the gas station, the road, and the farm. Looks completely different. Just drove over my mailbox. Alright, and what I'm going to do here. So this, we can drop this down. We can click Y, I believe, and this is going to allow us to create fields. And then I can lower it, and as I come up here, you're going to see we're now creating fields. So I'm going to put a field in right here. And this is going to be 10 miles an hour. It's okay. Fortunately, we're not putting in a ton of fields. We're just extending fields. Field's going to go here. There's a little area, again, I talked about that. It might get angry with me because Elm Creek, you don't own the borders. I think there's a mod map that you can buy that allows you to farm the borders, but the base game doesn't, so we're just working around it. But we're increasing this field size, and we're keeping Elm Creek actually in the, on the farm. I want it on the farm. And we're going to run this right up to here. And we're going to try and be as surgical as possible here, because I don't want to completely ruin that field. Now, I guess it doesn't matter. For the sake of the speed run, we can probably fix it. So I'm going to run this here. So this is going to be one large field. Not a large field, but a larger field than what's here. You can see the terrain angle not happy with me there. There are... there's one modder, I should say, that has a actual row crop option to put on fields, and you actually plant in rows. Really, really, really cool. It is a PC-only mod, and I am so sorry I am coming up blank on the modder's name. But that's really cool, just the way it looks on the maps. You can actually install it on certain maps if you understand how to work the XMLs. We're not focused on that, because again, this is a simple farm build, a fun farm to build for a beginner. Literally starting the game from scratch and making something that is not limited to the current fields that are here. I only have 6 mods installed. 3 of them are just convenience mods so that I can create the video. The other 3 are the ones that I'm using, and that is this lizard subsoiler that I really like because it's very precise and lets you make fields pretty easily. Now the other one is the red barn pack, and the third one is the American Barns, I believe by Lancey Boy. Everything else is base game. This is going to be close, folks. I've not had to actually make fields on speedruns before, and I didn't give myself the luxury of the real speed limit, which is a mod that allows you to basically turn off the speed restrictions and lets you use the existing horsepower of the tractor or the machine that you're using and the implement that you're using. So you're not like limited to 3 miles an hour with certain things, or 5 miles per hour. In this case, this 8R would pull this plow at close to 32 miles an hour. We'd be going very, very quickly. You sometimes can get around it by going backwards. Yeah, that... Okay, so it does plow backwards. That might actually work. Hold on. So this particular plow... Stand by. I'm going to take it off, and I'm going to turn it around because it's got a 3-point hitch on the back of it. Oh, we might actually This could be a lifesaver to get this done in the 60 minutes. Drop it down. Let's see how I can pull now. No. Well, shoot. I thought I was going to get around it. There are... It's not even... Oh, I think it turned off. Okay, I was about to say, and it's not even plowing now. There are some implements that you can turn them around, like I just did, and it basically bypasses the speed limiter. Now that's just going to annoy me, so forgive me, I have to fix this. Okay, well, we've got this taken care of. And I'm probably going to make this... I want this a little closer to the barn. And while we're here, we might as well just... Again, I'm not gonna... We don't have time to plant things. Nowhere near enough time to plant things. But we might as well just take these sunflowers out, because this is the first field. And you know what? Let's do it right. I almost went completely outside of that line right there, and that would have been very frustrating. All this profit. It's okay. We needed to be able to build this. So again, this is the base farm that you launch when the game starts. You can do this. I know you can. There we go. Now let's jump across the field. And all I want to do with these is I want to expand them. And I want to combine them. So I want this to be one field. So there's 2 fields on the property. Whoops. With Elm Creek running through the middle, just to give it some definition in the land. I really don't care about this field entrance. I'm going to take it out. And we don't have to have, again, it's okay, you don't have to have perfectly square. In fact, little, like, oval corners help you. Go out and look at a field sometime, and you will not, or you will notice that they're not perfectly square. There are a few. And I get it, right? My mind does the same thing where you get a little obsessive over certain things. You want it to be perfect. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong. Do what works for you. Okay, we're going to continue down here. I am hitting the side of the fence. That's okay. Come on, come on. There we go. But again, we got nice separation now between what was basically an open field looking over at that other farm. And we're going to just do that. And when you hear people saying, I'm going to combine fields, this is exactly what they're talking about. So they're taking the driveways or the path in between certain fields and just connecting them. Oh, it's so painful. It's not slow. Like, plowing at 10 miles an hour, that'd actually be pretty quick. But when you're on a time crunch in the game, it's like, oh my gosh. But we have to do this. We have to do this. I think I might leave... Yeah, I think I'll leave that approach. We'll combine this up to about here. Try and do this as scientifically or as surgically as possible. Gonna have to take out some of my corn. To do this, just kind of edge that back a little bit. Gotta go a little more. And it's crazy. I didn't think it would take the entire time to work on this. I thought this would be difficult to do because I don't have a ton of mod options, but not like super lengthy because I know the map. It's fairly small, but now in reality it's taken exactly the normal amount of time. At least I hope. How are we doing? Let's check. 53 minutes. Oh my gosh. We do not have a ton of time. We only have 7 minutes left to work on this farm, but I think we're doing okay. I think we're okay. I'm going to use a little trick to fill in the 3 fields that were here to make them all look like they're plowed. I wouldn't be able to do that with just the meadowland grass that's here. I've actually got to make arable land to do this. So I'm going to turn everything into a plowed state. And I'll do that through Easy Dev, again, mainly just for the convenience. If you were doing this yourself, you could just continue plowing like I am, and you'd have your fields totally combined. We don't have the time for that. I'm actually going to pick this up so that I can come over to here. Excellent. Okay, so I think we've got everything done on our fields. Do I still have... So I don't need the 8R anymore. Okay, watch this. Boom. Gone and gone. Maybe. There we go. Okay, I had the delete objects on still, and you can delete, like, everything with it. Okay, so what were those? Those were fields. Let it save. Always a great idea for saving. 49, 47, 48, 49. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and I'm going to actually set the field layer. Set field ground. I need this to be... I don't want to set the field fruit. What did I say it was? 47, 48, and 49? Yeah, okay. So 47... Why isn't this letting me... Okay, so I'm on 45. Apparently I have to run over here to this. 49. I am going to set this as... Yeah, that's right. Set field ground. 49, I want the ground type to be plow. I don't care about the angle right now. Boom. Okay, so now that is showing all plowed. Here, set field ground, 48 to plowed. Boom, there. Now come over here. 47, set field to plowed. Boom, there. We now have all of these set as plowed land. You'd have to come in and now plant. Saved us a ton of time. I think I will go into my landscaping, into my plants, and just make some of this a little smaller. But we'll keep that little approach over Elm Creek right there. Do that. Now we've got a little bit of time. Yeah, look at that. So look what we've created. We could put some now. I think we could finish up some decorative items. So I'd like to add maybe a fence back here in the backyard. So let me add a gate. This might be an area you would, whoops. Come on. Here we go. And maybe we would continue this on here in front. So you've got the ditch giving you some elevation changes. Some nice up and down in the... And this is kind of the entryway into the farm. Like that, okay. And then here we've got... do we have any other decorative items we could throw? No, we have like 0 decorative items. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. I usually have like so much here. I don't know. Let's throw something down. I feel like we have to have something here. Put like that here. Buildings, tools. Do we have anything else in tools that I could put down? No. Okay, maybe like that. The weather station. Let's put a weather station in. Put that there. And maybe a few more bushes over here. So landscaping in the trees. Just something very small. Just kind of along this line. And let's go into the broken down fence. And maybe this is kind of fenced off here as well. Like it. And I feel like I would like to have, because you've got the field right by the house, I feel like I would like to have, you know what we'll do? We'll continue with the white picket fence right here. Curve, and we'll have the driveway here. I don't like that, and we can go ahead, that's fine. We'll do maybe a little fence here into the backyard. Terrain is too steep, terrain is too steep. It's okay, we can flatten that real fast. So come in here to our flattening tool. It's going to raise this up a little bit. Into our decorations. Put just a... That should not be too steep. Should not be too steep. Why do you say it's too steep? Landscaping. You flatten it out a little more. That should have no issues putting... Yeah, there we go. So now we've got like a little entryway to the backyard. And the driveway with... I'll try to follow that a little better. Here. And we could even come in here with like a fence right here. Find an area where the terrain isn't too steep. And run that over to that there so you can get into the field like that. And here it is, everybody. You've seen this entryway before, but you've never seen it like this. This is the base game, base map, base farm, base everything, but 100% custom for you. And the goal of this speed build was to show that you can take this map and you can turn it into something with virtually 0 mods. that is cool, that is unique, that is yours, that is far more detailed than what is here on the base map. I did spend a little time afterwards just adding some equipment. We'd hit that 60-minute mark and I didn't have time to add equipment, but equipment always helps add a little bit of flair to the farm. Again, only 6 mods to make this map. Everything else was from the base game, and 3 of those mods were just for convenience. I really didn't even need them. You can do this. Make a map that you love and is all your own. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time here on the farm with the Stokers.